G'day everyone, here we have Ace, a 12-year-old thoroughbred gelding. He's never raced and he, I don't believe, has been had any sort of stability in his 12 years. He was sold to a trainer to be sold on consignment, I believe, and then sold to a beginner, and he's quite obviously, as you see him prancing around in his round yard, he's not kept in the round yard. That's just where we had him held while the riders were out riding and so forth. So that's not where he lives, but he does live in the paddock that's behind the round yard, so it's not like he hasn't been in there before or seen what he's looking at. Anyway, so he was in a paddock on his own, and not really given any boundaries by horse or human. Someone did ask me if he was late cut, so here I'm doing some basic exercises. I have worked with this horse a little bit. I've done some some hooking on sort of stuff and some just a little bit of desensitizing training and so forth. And you can see he's a lot calmer now. He's not sort of head up in the air or head down sort of trying to chase me off like he was a couple of days ago. So I'm just sort of asking him to move his feet and to accept me as his leader, rather than thinking that he has to be the leader. And horses will move each other around to decide who the top of the pecking order is. So that's basically what I'm doing with him. I'm not being nasty. I don't have any carrot sticks or whips or anything like that. I will use them if I have to. Whips, that is. I don't tend to use carrot sticks. And when I say use them, it depends on how aggressive or how dominant the horse is being, as to how I will use those tools. But again, the aim isn't to hurt the horse. It's just to ask it to move around and so forth. But this horse is quite sensitive and responsive, so he's not needing any of that sort of thing. And I'll keep my sessions quite minimal. I won't work the horse for too long. I don't want the horse to get bored or resentful. I just want it to be quite calm about everything and to accept the leadership and the guidance that I'm giving it. So here I'm getting it to flex. He's doing that on that side quite nicely, and you'll see in a minute. Unfortunately, I didn't get him doing it properly on this other side, but you'll see that he'll walk, and I let him do that. I'm not going to stop him. I'm just going to wait till he stands still, and then I'll release the pressure. But unfortunately, we didn't get to see that, but he did actually do it. So that's the main thing. A lovely friend of mine was filming, so that I can film while I'm doing it, but it's hard to concentrate on two things at once, and you can't see what I'm doing if I'm filming it. So there is a video of me doing some hook up exercises. I don't like to call it join up, because I'm not into chasing a horse full pelt around the round yard until it can't move anymore, unless it needs that. I mean, it is in my toolbox if I need to use it, but generally I haven't had to use it yet. So yeah. So today Ace was learning that my hand up means stop and stand still, and when I drop that hand and ask him to come, he then is allowed to walk up to me and follow me around. I didn't get a lot of footage of that exercise today. We're just sort of doing things that we've already done before and just asking him to accept the leadership and not be so domineering, because he was to start with. His head now is in quite a nice position, but when we first started it was up, just like it was when he was prancing around the round yard. He was quite worried, quite anxious, and a little bit aggressive. He can kick out this horse. He gets was getting food aggressive. He doesn't now. He waits for me. That bucket is mine until I walk away from it, and so he will wait at a distance for me to come in with the bucket, put the bucket down and walk away, and then he's allowed to eat his food. It just stops that danger of him using his back legs to try and order people around. That's, you know, probably about 600 kilos of horse, 500 kilos of horse, and when that connects with you with its back legs, it's quite painful. So obviously I want to discourage using those back legs. He can kick out in frustration, just in general, not at anyone, just kick out when he gets anxious. So we need to be aware of that. This horse, if left without any boundaries and without any good lessons, could have very well ended up quite dangerous. I don't like to label horses too much. I think that doesn't really do them any favours, but he could have ended up quite aggressive and dangerous in the wrong hands, unfortunately, because he is quite a smart horse. He does look a little bit Araby in the face, so I sort of wonder if maybe he's got a bit of a throwback to an Arab line somewhere. I don't know his breeding, I don't know his real history, apart from what I've been told by the trainer that sold him to the lady that bought him, that was a beginner. You can see too that he has his head down. Some trainers don't like that and they'll want him to lift their head up and pay attention and so forth. I'm not too concerned about it, as long as he's not using it to order me around or using it arrogantly. I don't really mind where his head is. It can be up in the air or down on the ground. Horses are horses, and he's just stretching and, you know, accepting. He's not bullying me with it, he's not being aggressive with it, he's just being a horse and stretching his back, and I don't mind that, that's fine. As long as he keeps doing what I'm asking him to do, then I don't really mind where his head is. I know some people think it's, you know, he's ignoring me and so forth, and maybe in their eyes he is. You know, I don't like to call people wrong or anything like that. I don't think that's conducive to positive horsemanship, because everyone has their own ways of doing it, and if it works, well, that's great. You know, just keep doing it that way. If it doesn't work, well, maybe you need to change it. So, you know, he's doing everything I'm asking him to do. He's not being evasive or being aggressive at all. Yesterday I went to bring him out of the round yard and he was trying to rush, so we gave him a few lessons on that, and now he's learnt to wait until I'm ready to bring him out. You'll also notice that when he's doing what I ask, I take the pressure off.